No. Okay, but seriously, if I have to hear another Spider-Man cosplayer definitively declare that you need to wear a face shell if you want that Spider-Man look, I'm going to start flaming some YouTube comment sections. Uh, and I want to be clear, I don't have like a problem with face shells. I have a problem with Spidey cosplayers, typically ones who have barely any skin in the game, making these definitive statements like you have to have a face shell to take your cosplay to that next level, or some of her like drivel, because it's factually just not true at all. Listen, if you like the look of it, that's totally cool. But it's not like the end all be all of cosplaying Spider-Man. It's not like a core tenet, like wearing a dance belt is, for example. And I think it's wrong to sit here and act like it is. For one thing, facial and lenses get expensive like pretty fast, unless you're able to 3D print them and put them together yourself, or are like crafty enough to make them out of foam or carb or whatever. Like it, and it's like it's a lot of extra work. And listen, I have a ton of them, but I only have a ton of them for the simple fact that they're more cost effective, considering the RPC studio is the only costuming company that makes custom lenses for their Spider-Man suits, outside of, I think, Spidey for Fun. But I feel like ordering from Spidey for Fun isn't very intuitive, and he's also more expensive, I think. I don't know. Anyways, but my point is like, that's the only people that I know of that make custom lenses that don't look like crap. Please stop getting attached lenses from Print Costume and Heroes Time. They're bad. They're not good. If you're really tight on cash, I totally get it. But you'd almost like be better off learning how to like do foam, or just like order it from Rose Pink Ink. It might take a minute, but like they're better lenses. Anyways, like I was saying, I only own face shells and lenses because it was just more cost effective to do it. Otherwise, I genuinely would never wear them. But I also don't like having to glue down my own lenses and try to make sure they're level and not messed up. So there's that. But also they're like good ways to sort of be able to get different looks for different suits, because you can interchange them and swap them out, so you're not having to buy like 4 pairs of Scarlet Spider lenses for the 4 different versions of the Scarlet Spider suit you want. You just have one pair that you can use for every single suit. So in that regard, they're also very cost effective in that way. But like, listen, if I didn't have a 3D printer and more people who made suits also made quality custom lenses, I would never own a face shell and lenses. As somebody who has like a really big chin and nose, I can tell you they kind of suck to wear, and I've worn them for all different sorts of makers. And honestly, a lot of people when I started out cosplaying thought I was wearing a face shell, so there's that. People always seem to stick to this idea that it gives like a more classic Spider-Man look, but I often think to myself, like, have you read a comic book? Because the face shape of Spider-Man has changed plenty over the years, and it will even change from panel to panel. Alex Ross is one of the most famous comic book artists ever, and he draws Spider-Man with a human face shape. McFarlane did something kind of pretty similar even for his like classic Spidey look. So again, when people say like, oh, but you get like that iconic Spider-Man face shape, it's like, well, no you don't, because again, 2 of the most famous comic book artists of all time don't draw him with a smoothed out sort of face, which is kind of what most face shells do. And again, there's nothing wrong with face shells. If you like face shells, if you like the look of a face shell, by all means, they have merits. I just don't like continually hearing these Spider-Man cosplayers, again, especially ones who've like done it for like 2 years and suddenly are like, I'm an expert, sort of act like they're these crucial pieces to really bringing the character to life and really selling the character, and don't really ever go over like the flaws of them versus not wearing them. Um, and again, they're not. People act like, again, kind of trying to sell like, oh, it gives you like the comic accurate look and it's comic accurate, and it's like, yeah, but like Peter isn't wearing a face shell under his mask. Like that's very apparent. But again, like they're great if you have multiple suits and you want to be able to reuse certain lenses for different ones. It makes it easier to center the lenses on the mask. And yeah, if you don't have strong facial features, you might like them because they can give you those strong facial features that, or like a stronger jawline or whatever, very easily. However, they do heat up really good, and they all fit differently from maker to maker. They're expensive, and they're almost never comfortable, especially if you're like me and you do have those strong facial features. You're not likely going to get enough padding in the face shell to comfortably fit your face and nose if you're like me, and fit the thing under your hood, and without it looking like you're kind of a bobblehead. It's just, I don't know. I've been doing this for like 8 years now, and the amount of face shells I can wear comfortably under my suit, not a lot of them. And again, you have to account for that also. That's like a whole other thing, is you have to account for the different sizes of face shells for your suit and how they fit when you're ordering your suit. You can't just be like, all right, well, this is the head circumference, I'm going to order my suit based on this. It's like, well, no, because the face shell is going to add a couple inches, and some of them they might measure about the same, but because the shapes are so wildly vary, like an RPC Studio one has more of like a smoothed out, kind of almost rounded look, and is really, really strong, sort of like in the nose and chin, versus something like the Armory back in the day, where it's very, very subtle nose and chin shape, to something like Oracle Made UK, where they're like a little bit bigger in some areas, or Artistic Props, I think, is the one that made my Miles one, and it's very kind of bulbous. So again, like that's a whole other facet that you have to then sort of consider when you're ordering a suit. They also don't breathe as well, obviously, because you have like a piece of plastic or foam in front of your face. I mean, they're gonna fog up about the same. I will say that they, in some instances, maybe are more comfortable, depending on how tight your mask is and depending on the lens. But my whole point of this video is I just don't like this idea of these Spidey cosplayers, whether they've been doing it for like several years or 2 years, telling newbie Spider-Man cosplayers like, you have to have this thing, otherwise you're not gonna be like on the level, or like it's, you know what I mean. And like a lot of times too, it's even more annoying because I feel it feels really backhanded, where they're like, well, you can, like, you don't have to do this, it's just like if you like want to take it to the next level. So it feels very much like, well, no, because like in the same sentence you've now discredited anybody who doesn't wear it because they're not like on the level, you know what I mean. And it just drives me bonkers because it happens all the time, and it's always popping up in my YouTube recommended, and it just drives me nuts. So the whole point of this video is, don't let some idiot tell you gotta have certain things for your Spidey suit to make it valid or of quality. I don't care if it's like installed shoes. I don't care if it's, face shell lenses, puff painted, urethane emblems, web lines. I don't care. That's just not how this works, and it's not even true to Peter Parker. His suit would be honestly so basic and so friggin' modest. Honestly, if your suit is as good or better than Nicholas Hammond's suit, congratulations, you've done the character justice in terms of comic book accuracy, because his suit, factually speaking, is the closest we've ever seen to what Spider-Man would in fact actually look like in real life. You don't need, like I said, the urethane webs or the screen printed fabric or the puff painted webs, or, you know, you don't need any of that crap to get the Spidey look, you know, to take it to the next level, to be comic accurate. Alright? Cool, you know? Just do Spider-Man in a way that feels authentic and true to you, that you're passionate and excited about, alright? And that's all that matters. Genuinely, that's all that matters. Like, if you can take that energy, put it into the suit, and bring that character to life, that's it. That's all that kids care about. That's all that anybody can really expect from you, and that's all that should matter to you. Okay? Cool. That's it. That's all I wanted. I wanted to get this out there. Thank you guys for checking out another one of my hot takes. And I promise, you know, the next video I put out will be something more, you know, ice cold. I just really wanted to sort of get that off my chest before I started going to YouTube comment sections and just raging on other content creators in an unproductive manner. So, yeah, alright. You guys have a good one. Like I said, you know, be you. That's, you know, that was the motto of the first Spider-Man game, or whatever, you know, or Miles Morales. Yeah. Be you. That's all that matters. Okay? Cool. Alright, bye.